It looks live. I see whatever. Hello. Look, there's somebody watching us. Do you see them?
A little red eye.
It's a red
A little red eye is watching us this morning.
That's usually me after no sleep and that.
It's been a week, I'll tell you that.
I could have said that on Monday morning.
Yeah,
sweetie.
that's why I'm just like
It's been
rubbing
a
my
hell of
eyes
a-
today.
Been a hell of a week today.
Yeah.
Yeah, the days are just packed.
Oh, I'm so frustrated again. I got up early, stayed up late last night, and did part of an order to a particular company. Got up early this morning to finish it, and they'd emptied my cart.
Well, you see, there you go. You have to do it once, handle it now, crap and that.
I couldn't stay awake anymore. We were awake so early in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Anyway.
Good morning,
Gilda.
everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Obviously, we are, in fact, working on the tube of you. And I see, Erin sees us as well.
Okay,
well, there you
good.
go.
Well, there are a couple people here.
So we should tell you before we start. Well, we should probably do the official introduction and say hello.
Good morning, everybody. This is Elevensies with Lisa and Anton Stewart. How
This
nice
is
to
Lisa,
see you.
and I'm Anton. So there. And Freya Brenda is watching. Good morning, Anton and Lisa. Good morning, Freya
Good morning,
Brenda.
good morning.
If that's how you pronounce it. I'm not very good at Norwegian or whatever. Norse. Vikings scare me.
You, yeah.
They're very rough people.
Anywho, it's Thoughtful Thursday.
It's Thoughtful Thursday.
But Anton wanted to ask you all to watch our latest video, please.
Well,
we put up a video about pottering off to the Potters to pick up our witchware pottery.
Good morning, Wendy. Yes.
I've got Jen and Shauna over here. There you go. Hello.
Yes.
So please do go on over, if you're on Facebook, go on over to YouTube and watch the video. You can click on it on the Facebook page and take you right there to YouTube and give us a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't and help us out. We got to get the algorithms moving in our favor.
Yeah, it's impossible to get known until somebody knows you.
You got to have a tipping point. All right. So it's Thoughtful Thursdays.
I was thinking about that just then. Thoughtful Thursday. What were we thinking
we
about?
got a couple other people here. Let's see. Tracy and Joe. Hello, hello. All righty. So,
Wendy says she loved the pottery video. Well, thank
Oh,
you.
thank
We had a
you.
lot of fun making them.
She's lovely, Jen, and Dave's great too. So we are very, very blessed. We're very, very blessed with our community in general,
Aren't we?
the people who come in as customers, the people who are part of our circle, the people who are part of creating the amazing items that we sell, and the vendors that we visit to pick up crystals and things like that. We are so blessed with such a wonderful group of people who really care about the work that they're doing, the things that they're creating. In a week or so, we're going to have Hecate, and I know that that's going to be an amazing,
interest in
amazing
Hecate.
statue. No, the old gods are stirring, But anyway, today's Thoughtful Thursday, and a week or so, or maybe a little while, maybe 2 weeks ago, we talked about, we joked a little bit and we talked about critical path analysis.
Oh, well, that's a fancy word, isn't it?
And we said that's like setting a goal or having a thing that you need to achieve, whether it's something huge or something small.
Yes.
And setting the path to get there, right?
How do you get there from here?
It could be, I need to have dinner on the table by 6 o'clock tonight. Well, what am I going to make? Well, how much time do I have to make it? Well, do I have those ingredients?
Do I have to
those
go
kind
get
of
them?
thing. So I'd like to talk a little bit today about attention to detail.
The devil's in the detail.
The devil is in the details. The work that you do, sometimes you're on automatic pilot. But sometimes there are easier ways to do it if you gave that attention to detail, right? So today I'd like to talk about that. I'd like to talk about organizing ourselves in a manner that could make our lives so much easier. And part of that is doing the step that you're doing without forgetting the details of what you're doing and without losing focus of the next step, right? So, I mean, if you're... Good morning, Rebecca. I haven't seen you in a while.
There you go.
If you're walking along a certain step and you're not focused on the next step, you're going to bang into it, right? But if your mind is on the details, if you think, okay, got to have dinner on the table by 6 o'clock. I'm leaving work at such and such time. And I have everything except, like the chicken. I've got everything to make chicken fajitas except the chicken. So I have
not really going to be chicken fajitas without chicken.
So I have to get chicken. But I have a choice of 2 shops, and one of the shops is always out of organic chicken, but the other one always seems to have it. So I want to make sure I go that little bit further to the other shop to get it. So I know that this makes it seem like you're worrying or that it could bring you some anxiety, but in the end, it really is the easier way to do it, right? So you have this window of time. You can make one of the 2 shops, but you can't go to both. So if you take the lazy way and you go to the shop that sometimes doesn't have the chicken and they don't have it,
but it's more convenient.
Now you're going to have to go to the other shop,
and you ain't got
and
time
you're not
to
going
do
to
that.
get it on the table in time. So it's about like organizing yourself to make the steps that you're doing easier. I know I sound like somebody's old grandma, but I've gotten to the point in my
old
life.
Enough to be.
I am old enough to be a grandma, but I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't have all the extra energy I used to have. So since I don't have all the extra energy I used to have, I need to use the energy that I do have more wisely, right? So instead of having everything disorganized and saying, I need a paperclip, and I can't remember where I put them, and I have to look in 15 places to find the paperclip. Now I finally found the paperclip, but
you've got 14 wasted operations to locate that.
Exactly.
And that's taken time.
So whether it is something huge that we're working on, like Celtica, and trying to make sure all of the steps, like we have notebooks about Celtica. We have notebooks about the steps that we need to take to get Celtica. We are working on projects every day, and all of those things, whether it's our next book or the tarot deck that we're working on or the statuary that we're working with Joe on, or buying things for the shop that we can sell for a profit, or working on the YouTube station and social media and the website, all of these things that we're working on, if we don't pay attention to the details,
we're screwed.
We're going to be
categorically
lost.
Categorically.
So over this next couple of weeks, we're really working behind the scenes in the shop to get cleaned and organized. So if you need a roll of tape or you need a screwdriver or whatever, everybody knows where it's at.
15 wasted operations to go
find
get that one thing. Yeah. Can I just expand on what you're saying?
No, I've talked a long time, but
yeah. So there are certain things when I know it's such a fancy term, critical path analysis, but it really is, how do I get there from here? And it's taking into account all the variables. And there's some things that you have influence over, and are directly within your command or control, if you will. And there are other things that are outside of that, which are the intangibles, if you will. They're harder to influence, they're harder to do, but some of those intangibles are incredibly necessary too. So you do the best that you can with what you've got, and then you look at ways of which you can continually improve upon what it is that you're doing. So when Lisa was saying, you've got these 2 stores, that you have to understand, part of planning something, you have to understand where your hard stops are. And her example was the dinner must be on the table by 6, and I can't leave work until 4. Okay,
whatever it was.
There's your 2 hard stops. Okay, this has to occur by this time.
You've got to get out on time,
and you cannot leave before that time. In actuality, there may be a crisis come up, and you may actually have less time than you think, because you got stuck at work dealing with a problem, and it might be a problem that you bloody caused as well. So then you just can't drop it and wander away.
And please understand, we're not saying this to try to stress you out.
No.
We're trying to say this so you don't get stressed out. if you have that plan, if you're making the best use of resources, if you're making the best use of your energy, you know what? You'll get dinner on the table by 6. Everybody will enjoy it, and you'll be able to relax. You know, you won't burn yourself cooking or chopping too quickly, cut yourself, because you'll have planned it out, and it'll be a joy rather than a stress. Yeah. So whatever it is you're doing, play to the strength of yourself or the players, weaknesses. Right? So if you're managing a family, use the people's best strengths to manage, right? Like if you know somebody loves to mow the lawn, make sure that they get time to mow the lawn. If you know somebody would rather load the dishwasher than sweep the floor, then let that person be in charge of loading the dishwasher. The same thing happens when you're managing a staff.
If somebody's delegation.
It's called delegation, but it's also playing to somebody's strengths. If somebody is really fantastic with customers, let them work with customers in retail. If somebody sucks at working with customers, then put them at a job that's behind the scenes, you know. And pay attention to the details. We're doing some spy work because we talked about maybe opening a shop in a second shop somewhere else. And we went on a spy mission. And I said to Anton, you know, people do their best, but they don't pay attention to the details. One of the shops had a long, open, almost closet space.
They were almost like changing rooms.
Changing rooms.
Like kind of lined up like changing rooms. Yeah.
So they had booths. Excuse me.
I'll have a drink for you.
Yeah. Booths that were not, there were no walls dividing, there were curtains, right? So they had a long space with 4 booths. And they had the readers set up, so they had client, reader, client, reader, client, reader, client, reader, set up lengthways across there. And when I looked at it, I said, wow, how hard that would be to have your spine against the spine of the other client, right? So you're trying to focus on this client's energy, but your spine is lined up with the client behind you that's the next reader's client. So I would have put the readers with their backs against the back wall and let the client open the curtain and sit down in front of them. So yes, the client's back might have been out to the room, but there's a curtain. But the reader would have had a protected space rather than try to sort the energy. So I know that sounds like a crazy example, but it's about making life easier. If you set up your people so they can play to their strengths, so now your empathic readers, your psychics are not jumbled. They're going to give better readings, the clients are going to get better help, and you're going to get a better reputation. So everything kind of has a buildup, but it also has like a trickle down.
Yeah, a knock-on effect.
Right, a knock-on effect. If you step wrong, you know, if you break your ankle going to the grocery store, if you step wrong, then you're going to be hobbling and it's going to hurt to stand up and make the dinner, you know?
Yeah, you might be off to the ER instead of, the kitchen.
The devil really is in the details of playing to strengths, thinking things through, right? I can do it this way or I can do it this way.
Excuse me.
Which way has the least amount of resistance? Which way helps my people or helps me play to my strengths and makes the journey easier? Obviously, not everything in life is going to be easy. And I'm certainly not suggesting taking the lazy man's way out, right? Like my folks always talk to us about lazy man's load.
I was just about to say that. If you're trying to carry 28 bags
you're going to try to carry all the groceries in one fell swoop.
Something's getting broken.
And you drop and break something. and you might really have needed that. But if you'd made 2 trips to the car, you know, you could have made quicker trips probably and gotten all the groceries in safely rather than try to drag all the bags up the stairs.
Think about how long it takes to put 28 bags of groceries on your hands. And then you've got to open doors and shut the trunk or the boot or whatever you call it. Yeah.
So Thoughtful Thursday today is about organizing the details so you're not stressed. Organizing the details so there is a joy. Organizing the details and thinking things through to help others enjoy their time with you.
Exactly.
Right? If you're all anxiety, frustrated, stressed out, and angry,
you've got a face like a dog chewing a wasp all the time.
The people around you aren't going to enjoy your company either. And this week, from this new moon and this next week, are so filled with aggression.
The potentiality for disagreements, shall we say.
You know, very harsh aspects between Mars, Uranus, the Sun, the Moon. Really pay attention to how you're doing things, how you're saying things. Hello, Mr. Emmett. Yeah. And
he doesn't pay attention to much. That's why so much gets broken around here. Yeah. He'll just leap at something and destroy it.
Pay attention and let yourself try to enjoy the company that you're in and the things that you're doing. You know, take pride in what you're doing.
Yeah, you know, so many people could say, oh, I just don't have time to be organised. I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done.
Hi,
Whoa,
Amber.
hold on. One of the things a paramedic once told me was that the most illuminating thing I heard from some time is, like, some people just rush in and they make a total bolognese of the whole affair, you know. But they were told, they were trained, don't just stand there, do something is wrong. It's don't just do something, stand there. Make an assessment of what it is you're dealing with, you know? Be clear what it is. So in other words, what have I got to do? What is my purpose here? You know? Assess what you've got, where your energies need to go.
I'm going to start CPR. Oh, but the femoral artery is hemorrhaging.
Well, first
Perhaps
off,
I should tourniquet that.
There's one of me. You call 911.
Right.
I'm going to delegate it. Right. Or call 911 and leave the bloody phone by the side of you. They can figure out what's going on.
Call
there.
911, put the tourniquet on the artery, and then start CPR. You know.
Cat lateral damage. I love it. Erin's volunteering to run our second store. She said, I want to work there. I want to manage it. And so I would do the hell out of that. I bet you would, you know. I bet you would. Maybe a conversation to be had in the future. So getting organised is actually a brilliant antidote for stress. You go, oh God, I'm so frustrated, I'm so stressed. Stress comes from frustration, the inability to make an effect. If you're doing something, if you've got traction, if you're getting ahead of the situation, if you know you're dealing with the tasks as they appear, you will not be stressed. You know, action is a brilliant antidote for stress. So planning is essential for action. Otherwise, you just literally are spinning your wheels in the sand and you will raise nothing but a whole load of stress. So, you know, work out what is it, how do we get there from here? How do we get there from here? And it doesn't hurt to take a couple of minutes to actually really work that out. Because
here's the step we're taking today.
Yeah. Now, what happens if that gets shot out the water, as is often the case?
Right.
There are certain things like, it's an emergency, it has to be dealt with
Yesterday,
now.
the register was down for half of the day.
Well.
So what was I going to do? You know, I had to adapt, improvise,
I
overcome.
Still have to resolve some issues there, of dragging everything kicking and screaming into the 21st century, unfortunately. We have some old kit, you know, and the trouble with old kit, it's great while it continues to work, but should it fail, it's not always easy to replace. That's planning, okay? It's not easy to replace. You're forced into trying to find something that is increasingly rare, or repairing something that is difficult to repair or cost prohibitively expensive to repair. So if you keep things current, you know, then if something does go pear-shaped on you, it's much easier to deal with that issue with something, oh, I can just get another one of those. Now, we're good at backing up our data, we're good at our crisis management, but we still need to bring our systems up to ensure that they
if they're not state of the art, we're going to not be able to run a state of the art website, are we?
we need to bring it up. This is long overdue, and this is one of my hats I wear. So yesterday I was being an IT guy for an awful lot of the
And I was being a janitor.
Yeah, so we got to do an iron day for the first time. It was just Lisa and I in for the whole day. Apart from our readers, it was just Lisa and I. But didn't we meet some lovely customers? And I have to say, it was so nice. There was one young lady came in who she's super complimentary about everybody. She says, everybody's
how much she loved everybody that worked there, and
so we'll make a point of telling our people that thank you. It's so nice that.
No, that's how I started this. That we're so blessed to have wonderful community, wonderful company, wonderful people creating things and helping us. And I think that's the reason the store is so successful. It is a collective energy. Yes, Anton and I are driving the boat, but there are also a lot of people rowing.
That's very true. And we are a sum of our parts, and hopefully we're slightly more than that now. We're more than the sum of our parts, but everybody has a hugely important role to play. And we're a people business.
And I think people underestimate us a lot of times. Like, people don't recognize the experiences that we've had and the length of time that we've been doing things
and
that
the
we're
cock-ups we've made.
Yeah.
The balls
you
we've
learn
dropped.
from a mistake, too, yeah. But
some of them were bowling balls, I assure you.
I've been working full-time since I was 16 years old. That's a lot of experience.
It is. It is. Yes. And hopefully we've got the wit now to learn from our experiences. You're too soon old and
too soon old, too late smart.
Too late
and
smart.
I think the whole point of Thoughtful Thursday today is about making the best use of your resources so you don't have to be stressed. Thinking things through so you don't have anxiety moments, right? I've already thought about that. I know it's going to go this way. I'm going to do it that way. I can find what I need. It builds that sense of confidence, and confidence helps deal with that anxiety and stress.
And you know what? You work better when you're in an organized environment. I love having a super clean office with a nice clear desk where I can spread my stuff out, and if I need to have like several pads and a couple of screens open, and I've got the room to do that. I'm not having to brush crap out the way, simplify, declutter. That's so essential because it declutters your mind as well. And when your mind's not dealing with all sorts of crap, what is it? Is the possibilities or the probability of navigating an asteroid field successfully? That's is your mind an asteroid field? Are you having to like dodge and swing around these rocks that are coming out?
And what I'm trying to say is, if you've already dealt with it, if you already have imagined it, planned it, prepared for it, if you already dealt with it, it makes that much simpler. Right? If at mile marker 12, the bridge is out, I'm going to have a plank.
There will be a detour
to lay down to get over that space, Carry the plank, okay, pain in the butt to carry the plank, but it beats trying to jump when you get there.
If that's the only way, then yes. Yes. If that's the only way to get there, then you need to think about, gap crossing.
Well, again, today is filled with all kinds of stuff. It is the new moon.
It is.
It is the Scorpio new moon.
Scorpios are very intense.
It's an intense day.
They're good at analyzing.
It's a wonderful day to start something new, right? A wonderful day to start something new, even if that means just executing the plan.
Now, I was fighting technology. Oh, I love this. This is actually a very Scorpionic card as well.
Okay.
For some obscure reason. We'll come on to that. You mentioned yesterday that the Mercury was just coming out of its shadow.
Mercury came out of shadow yesterday, so you had
I had some
wobble.
It's always just before a Mercury retrograde that I experience the most disturbances in the force. Hello, Laurie. How you doing? And yeah, there were some frustrations yesterday, and it was that classic. I'm sure the screw up fairy may well be Osbafadon. I think that, and it's like, oh well, before you can do that, you're gonna have to do this, and before you can do that, you're gonna have to do this. And there's me going, well, that'll be easy for me to do, and then there's another problem. That'll be easy for me to do. Then there's another problem. So it's like, oh wow, bit of feature creep went on yesterday, and I'm still not quite there. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We work to resolve it. We still remain focused. I mean, the option of, oh no, that's it. Screw it. This is too hard. I'm giving up. That's not an option.
Right. No, you're not going to get across the bridge there. Okay. Yeah. We really do have a lot of ground to cover as usual. So today's card is
the High Priestess.
The High Priestess, and look
Lovely
at that
card.
little crescent new moon by her feet.
Dun dun dun.
All right, and this is a very psychic time too. So, my reading for you for today for the High Priestess card is: why not do some divination work? Figure out what it is that speaks to you, whether it's tarot or pendulums or palmistry or runes or whatever it is, whatever you work with. Today would be a really good day to ask a question regarding a project that you want to start and see what Spirit has to tell you about.
I love this card. You may know a lot. I mean, she definitely knows a lot. I mean, but she also requires that you ask the right questions in order to answer them, I think, the High Priestess. But she's also humble enough to know that, the concept of God, the big good thing, if you will, is way too big to fit into one religion. So she encompasses a lot of stuff. So you need to embrace a lot of stuff. It's all about making best possible use of all available resources, tapping into both innate and ancestral wisdom, established knowledge and intuition, balancing those two. Notice she occupies a position of balance between the two pillars there. And these are the two pillars of the Temple of Solomon. And the builders of the Temple of Solomon, Boaz and Yahim, can reveal much wisdom to you if you are prepared to ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Okay, so that can be the thing. When you're trying to figure something out, and this has happened to me, don't make assumptions. Are you dealing with this correctly? Have you analyzed what you're dealing with correctly? Ask the right questions, revisit, reorganize, reassess, replan if necessary. We keep saying no plan survives contact with the enemy, and that's always the case.
Have you edited?
I have no bloody idea, but I probably should because, we started talking so much, and then I keep forgetting because I'm a dimwit like that as well.
All right, so very psychic day.
It is actually.
New moon in Scorpio.
Use that intuition.
Use that intuition, even though it is opposing Uranus, so it's a little bit chaotic. A
little bit.
You're going to have to dig for the details. Dig for the details, but those details will save you in the long run. All right, folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much for watching. Have an amazing day.
We'll probably see you with a box opening later.
We will. And please, please, please go check out our pottering around for pottery or whatever we've called it. I can't remember now, but our latest video, it's our little road trip to go and see our potters. It's beautiful.
And if you see something you like, give us a call.
Oh yeah, you can always do that.
Thank you.
We do sell stuff.
Blessings.